So let's get retroactive. What do you say? It's time! Well, let's get retroactive as always. Let's get retroactive. Let's get retroactive.
And then there was Retro. Yes, everybody, today is the 2023 debut of Retromania. It is Retromania 53, and we are here to commemorate one of the most memorable ever. Oh, you bitch. We're here to commemorate one of the greatest gaming rivalries of all time. And Bex has already made her opinion known. So I'm going to go ahead and change the lighting behind me real quick. The SEGA sign's not going away, though, because it can't. So, yeah. But I also have these programmable lights behind me. Then now I got to reprogram them to red and white. Oh, yes, that does remind me, though. Really quickly.
Bex is here. Alle müssen tanzen.
And that's not negotiable. Everybody has to dance. I don't know why. Exactly. So, if it sounds like I swallowed a squeaky toy, I don't know what to tell you. I have been fighting something the past week or so that I finally beat. Unfortunately, it took a toll on my voice, but I'm still here. I'm excited to be here. It's Retromania 53. I'm old. I'm old because I remember the Sega versus Nintendo rivalry as well as anybody, because I was like in second or third grade when it was at its highest. And that's like why I'm so excited. I also unlocked Unit 70 in Duolingo. That's completely unrelated, but I did do it. I'm going to be drinking water a ton during this stream, by the way. Either on camera or off. So let that be known to everybody, how important it is to stay hydrated. Otherwise, you end up like me. See, Bex, you're a Nintendo fan, but kind of like Sonic, you get right off to the point. You just cut right to the chase there on me. Going right for the Nintendo lighting. Just hope somebody doesn't overrule you later. Actually, I kind of hope somebody does, but anyway. We got the new Retropolis behind me. A lot of the stuff is kind of technically the same. There's actually something behind me that may or may not show up. Oh, I do see it. It kind of meters with my voice, which it's much brighter than my voice is right now. Actually, it kind of looks cool in here with the red lighting. I'm sorry to say that, Sega fans. Try this. Precise. There we go. So now we should have red lights going. Red and white lights. Whatever. You find it funny that Nintendo's colors are the colors of the devil? Just throwing that out there. But in addition to water, I will occasionally be sneaking a drink of this delicious Mountain Dew Pitch Black. Hey, what's going on, Rem? Thank you for joining today's episode. It's going to be a fun one. How do you like the delightful new Retropolis setup? You mean the color of love? No, it's the color of evil. It's red. The big N, the evil empire. You see what I did there? The evil empire. No, hold on. You guys suck. I am going to keep track of this too, because at the end of the episode, I want to see how many people cheered for each one. Yeah, well, I actually kind of figured I would be, but whatever. But thank you both for joining. On another topic, I've got pizza here. I don't know why. I have pizza. Pizza's red and white. Delicious. And I have nothing against Nintendo either, which is what makes this whole thing so interesting, is both Nintendo and Sega had such interesting things. Both, I think, made each other better back in the 90s. Pizza always works. Yeah, it really does. It's from Little Caesars, Rem. I'm going to be hitting the water hard today. Rem, did I give you your graphic? I didn't give you your graphic. Yeah, they really do have good deals. But so do I, including, if you guys haven't noticed, the new Retro 1-Up, which is new for the 2023 season. The Retro 1-Up, of course, is quite expensive, 5,300 channel points. You can only use it 3 times in an entire Retro stream, so be careful how you hold on to those. It can also only be used during a voting round, which will be timed from now on. There's going to be a 5-minute retro clock. I don't really know what makes it retro. It's just a clock. But as soon as I start a round, there's going to be a 5-minute countdown. If all the votes are in before 5 minutes, then no worries. But otherwise, yeah, that is what we are doing right now. So yeah, that is a thing. We also have the retro tie break, which is only applicable once per stream. And that is only if there is an actual tie. Otherwise, we still go to retro trivia just like last year. So I tried not to change too many things about the show from last year. And God, it's really annoying how it feels like my voice gets better and then it gets worse. I also have not had to talk much today. When I have, it actually doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to talk. It sounds like it hurts to talk. It does not hurt to talk. But anyway, I do appreciate everybody watching here tonight, today, whatever. Finally have some good lighting on here. You guys have no idea what a pain in the butt those lights used to be to change. But now I'm modernized. So yeah, we got Sega, we got Super Nintendo. These two did battle back in the 90s. It was an awesome time. Honestly, the best video game rivalry of all time. I don't care what side of it you're on. I think it's the best one. And I loved the old Sega ads. No, that's the wrong button. God damn it. That didn't count. I love the old Sega ads that would would spoof. They would actually spoof, which console ran better, and they would compare, the Sega Genesis to the Super Nintendo, with the Super Nintendo being this, really old, rundown car. Alright, so you want to know who won? Technically, Nintendo won the Super Nintendo versus Genesis debate. However, for about 2 years there, Sega Genesis did dig pretty deep into Nintendo's market share. They were really the only company to do that back in the 90s. Nintendo had a ton of momentum from the 80s. The Super Nintendo sold very well, but the Sega Genesis was not that far behind, and at one point was outselling it. And, I don't really want to get into the details that shot Sega in the foot that would later get them out of the console market. Who won in the end? There is no end. I mean, I guess there's an end, but, they're both still around. And I still obviously prefer Sega. But today we're going to relive some of those great rivalries, who's better, all that great debate that made video gaming so great in the 90s, and the games themselves, because that's what the show is really all about in the end. And it's great, too, because I get to talk like an old man, even though I'm not an old man, but I get to talk like an old man, because I grew up in the 90s, back in the 90s, and we had Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. Like, I don't know what the current gaming scene is. I don't know if, like, Sony and Microsoft have something, and it's like, oh, our thing does more gigabits than your thing. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, Sega and Nintendo had such creative properties, both of them still enduring to this day. Of course, Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Vector Man, Donkey Kong, Alex Kidd, Kid Chameleon, Comic Zone. Wait, I'm naming all the Sega ones. Samus, Kirby, Fire Emblem, Pokemon. Well, Pokemon's not really Nintendo. Nintendo makes the games. Actually, I don't know if Nintendo makes the games. The games are on Nintendo software, hardware, whatever. But yeah, we're gonna get going in just a little bit here. I want to try and say this with as much gusto as I can muster here. Let's get retroactive. That's all you're going to get out of me today. All right. Don't know if we have any more people here, but for right now, we do have the two, so we're going to have the first ever versus round, which will in some ways make this easier, in some ways not. There are only 2 games to go between, and this will be the first few rounds of the show today, so going to keep it simple here. It is Super Mario World versus Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I wanted to get this one going right away because these were the 2 games that, as I mentioned, were always like compared to each other. So here we go. Bex, are you just going to go Nintendo the whole time so you sound less shit? Yes, I do. Thank you for noticing. And yes, you might notice our barely visible retro clock behind me, which is how long the round has to go. And right now it is a 1v1 round between Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. We got, on the Nintendo side, Super Mario World. We got Sonic 2. Here we go. Sonic 2, all right. We got tie 1-1. Nintendo all the time. If, and it's a big if, I'd like to see, I happen to see, I don't know. Well, Sega has good racing games. I mean, Sega, to me, is always known for Sonic. I love Sonic, but I know they have other things. I don't know if you'd really care about the other things, but they do have other things. All right, we got a tie here. Oh, I feel like the clock really brings more drama in. I always said I would give everyone like 5 minutes, and then I feel like I would let that clock run on forever. But now I have to give them 5 minutes. If time expires and there's still a tie, then we'll get to that, but the options, which apparently keep freezing, are Super Mario World versus Sonic 2. Hey, I got enough stuff on my mind to worry about the fucking video freezing. Sonic 2? Oh! I mean, I'm unbiased. I don't care who wins. I don't have a dog in the fight. Honestly, both are great. No, that is the other thing, like I keep saying. Did I not set this right? You know what? I don't care. You guys know what the choices are. Unbiased my ass. Huh, I don't care what wins. Sonic 2 takes the lead. Yeah! Look, stop the vote now! No. See, you cannot be, when it comes to Sega and Nintendo, you cannot be either or. I mean, yeah, obviously you can't be, but like, the whole point of this one is to bring out the hatred in everyone. No, I don't know. Retromania, it's a show about hate. How you hating it so far? Retro 2023 debut today. It's been a long month for me. It's been a good month, but it's been a long month. I've been working my ass off. I'm tired, but I want to relax. Beck seems to be taking this pretty well. There's still 2 minutes and 16 seconds. If somebody else shows up and votes in that time, you don't know. You know, I will let the clock run out. Like I was going to say, if everybody had voted before the clock run out, then I would just call it. But right now it's 2-1. 2-1 for Sonic 2, which, in case you guys don't know, I probably say it every single show, but Sonic 2 was the first video game I ever played. Not just the first, Sega game, the first game I ever played. So, not exactly a shock for me to play this. But I actually did do a stream of Super Mario World the other day. Or last week or so. So, I mean, I like both games. I mean, you'll see in this stream, there's going to be a lot of really cool games. But, anyway. Yeah, I got cheesy sticks. I've heard it's much better than Sonic 1. It really is. Especially when you consider they came out like a year apart. They really, like, jumped the quality way up. I mean, I don't say it's like more than any sequel before it, but wow, 5 minutes actually goes faster than I thought. How you doing, Big Mac, by the way? I didn't really say hello to you properly. I have no idea why that graphic keeps freezing. It's supposed to loop. And it loops for like one round, and then it stops. I would say I need to get in touch with the people in the graphics team, but that is also me. I am the graphics team. Tim's exhausted. He is the marketing department. Hey, you think this is fun with my voice? I had to DJ last night, and I had to do trivia. I'm about to reset it next week. Oh, you lost the Pokemon Challenge. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you could lose it. Later. Oh, too soon. Well, he had to. He was the marketing department. It was very exhausting. All right, 10 seconds. Ooh, here we go. There's nobody else in the stream, I don't even think. All right, so that is round 1. Goes to SEGA. So somehow, I'm actually a little surprised, I'm not going to lie. I did not vote, but I don't vote. Pokemon dies is out. The party wipes. It's game over. Well, that's kind of depressing. Here I thought Pokemon was all about making friends and the journey along the way and all that nonsense. Turns out, there was more to the game than we thought. Now, where is my trusty Sega controller? Has been here with me through thick and thin. Ah, yes, the Sega controller. I feel like if I just make my voice a little goofier, it kind of takes away from the fact that my voice is shot. So I can just have this kind of goofy, kind of southern voice. Because people who don't know my voice don't really know what it normally sounds like. Trust me, it doesn't sound that great normally. There we go. Just a fan-made hard mode thing. I kind of figured as much. Hold on. Let me reset this, actually. Just so that we can hear that iconic Sega intro. Are you ready? Wow, there is a long delay between the stream and my screen, because I heard it like probably 10 seconds before you all did. Which one? The open world one? Well, the other one was open world, but, what's it called? Pearl? Or one of the freaking diamonds or gems or whatever they name them after. Pokemon, like Grandma's Hidden Jewels or something. You know, I know now the game looks outdated, but, like, it's hard to deny back in, like, 1992, compared to what else was out there, like, this combination of colors, the blues and greens, and just the vibrant animations, like, there really was nothing like this. Hey, what's going on? Not sure what it's called anymore. Legends Arceus, no. Well, Legends Arceus, that actually might be the game she's talking about. Welcome to Retromania 53, Sega versus Nintendo. Oh yeah, Violet is the one that came out more recently. I don't have that one. I've heard it's glitchy as hell, but I also just wasn't interested in it. I also haven't beaten Arceus yet. I see Toaster Cartridge slipped in there, though. Be curious to know what he would have voted for in that last round, but we'll never know now. It'll be a mystery. He actually... See, I thought Rem was going to go Mario. I'm 90% sure he would have gone Mario. Like every good citizen. Too soon. See, I don't like hating Nintendo. Like, I feel like you just don't like Sega. Like I don't dislike Nintendo. I just prefer Sega. Yeah, probably. Well, the other choice was Super Mario World. But no, don't worry about it. We'll have some other choices coming up in the show. I'm Nintendo for life. And that's the thing, I get that. That's kind of what makes the rivalry so cool, is that people did grow up with Nintendo the same way I grew up with Sega, and they just got it in their heads that Nintendo was the best. So, like, you have generations of people believing in this, and that's what makes this so cool to this day. Stole my lunch money in school. That is funny, because that's kind of... So, Sega's marketing against Nintendo was basically like, you know, like, oh, we're Sega, we're faster, we're cooler, we're this, we're that. Nintendo tried to market against Sega by being like, oh, Sega's a bunch of bullies. Like, you don't want to support them because they're bullies. That was literally their angle on it. So you had both of these making ads against each other. It was just a lot of fun. I mean, I know you were joking, but I'm just saying, like, that is kind of the context they were both going at. When in reality, Nintendo was the bully on the playground. Nintendo put so many gaming companies out of business before Sega and after Sega. I mean, Nintendo killed Atari. Nintendo killed TurboGrafx. Like, Nintendo trounced everybody. Sega was the only one that could stand up to Nintendo and actually beat them. Well, see, even then, Nintendo made decent consoles, not even weaker, sometimes the same strength or more, but, like, yeah, no, you're right. Now, they kind of get by on their name, but that's a minor gripe. Sega does, thank you! Thank you! My favorite saying in all of gaming. In fact, there's a reward for that, but I'll get to that later. Chemical Plant Zone. Trying to play the game and also, like, read the chat and everything. And keep drinking water, because I realize if I don't drink water, like, every 3 seconds, my voice starts to dry out. I'm like a sponge. I'm like SpongeBob from the first episode of SpongeBob when he doesn't have water in Sandy's treehouse. And it's like, he can't talk. I've seen Nintendo say that, like, what is it? Nintendo is what Sega ain't or something, and I'm like, oh, they can't even do grammar right. Hey-oh. Oh my god, I'm so glad. Okay, Big Mac and I are going to get along great in this stream. I shouldn't give too much away because of certain things, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Even though the Sega Saturn was kind of crap, I'm going to be honest, but yeah, Sagato Shinchiro. It was hilarious. Really, only in Sega's 1990s could that be a thing. Oh, fuck. I'm not even, like, paying attention to the game. Like, I am, but, like, I played this game so many times, I don't even need to. I just know exactly what I'm doing. I think I've played Chemical Plant probably, like, 200 times or something in my life, and I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but I'm just used to it. Everyone had Nintendo. Well, it's funny because you and Big Mac are from the same area, as far as I know, or the same country. I guess there are differences in geography. Well, that's the thing. To me, Nintendo and Sega are almost like Coke and Pepsi. Like, everybody knows Coke, everybody likes Coke, prefers Coke, whatever, but Pepsi's still damn good. And I feel like, you know, that was the thing then, too. It's like everybody loved Coke, but, like, Pepsi had those great ads, and, like, Pepsi was always taking jabs at Coke. And tell me if you catch this coincidence. Coke is red, Pepsi's blue. Yeah, I went there. And yeah, I will admit Coke is better than Pepsi. But I still think Sega is better than Nintendo, but that's another story. But I also think Sega really overextended themselves, but they also had to. Which is what I was trying to say before. Like, Nintendo was really the ones calling the shots in terms of gaming. Sega was one of the few that stood up to them, and ironically emboldened Sony to do the same, which kind of led to Sony and Microsoft getting in there later down the line and kind of screwing Sega over. So yeah, Sega's aggressiveness kind of got them in the end, but not because of Nintendo. I mean, granted, this level has a lot of what you're saying, but there are still some points in this game, especially later in the game, which I'm not going to really get to, but yeah, I still know what you're saying. Oh, yeah. That was gross. I'm actually glad I wasn't on camera for that. Oh, shit. If I ever died of the boss, it was usually on this one. Especially because Tails would have, like, weird hit collision here. Okay, good. Tails can take it that time. This is also where I first met Dr. Robotnik. Well, not this level, the first level. But yeah, obviously I'll give you that Coke is better. I love Coke. I love Pepsi too, though. I don't know if I love Pepsi. I like Pepsi. I love Mountain Dew, which is Pepsi brand. Although Pepsi didn't make Mountain Dew. They actually bought it later. It's a whole thing. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, no, it's nice to be back here with everybody. Nice to be back in the retro streaming scene. I like Really? Okay, you're actually the first one I know that actually said that. Like, nothing wrong with that. I just always preferred Coke. I've never had anybody with the Pepsi preference. Almost everybody has a Coke preference with a Pepsi, you know, like. I don't know anyone that hates Pepsi, I should say. I know you like I know you have, like, that picture of you drinking Crystal Pepsi or whatever, which, by the way, just tastes like Pepsi. I wouldn't say you're, like, the definite Pepsi guy, but you know who you are the guy of. And actually, this is as good a time as any. You are Doggerson.